Hey, it's Corrina, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. It's actually my birthday today, so I'm really happy that you've decided to join me. So I want to share with you today a couple of beginners poses for helping to tone up the waistline a little bit. So this is one of those trouble spots that most of us are working on, and I just want to show you a couple of beginner yoga poses that can help to strengthen the core and tone down the midsection a little bit if that's something you're working on. Today's video is brought to you by YogaPlus, and I've actually teamed up with them to do a birthday giveaway for you guys. So if you're interested in winning a YogaPlus Bliss box, head over to our Instagram to join. So not only do you get the organic, raw, ceremonial grade cacao with all these other superfoods, you get the ceremonial mug, the frother, and it's just an amazing little box. So if you want a chance to win, head over to our Instagram. You don't need any props for this yoga class today, it's just a little bit of space. And if you're not able to join me right now, go ahead and add this video to your watch later. Come back and join me whenever you have the time. So getting started here, you can either take a easy cross-legged position or Sukhasana if that's more comfortable for you, or you can just kind of kneel so you're just kind of sitting on your heels here in this position. I just want you to start by really finding a lot of length here and just knowing that the more that we're kind of slouching forward or having this kind of shifty posture is gonna really contribute to that excess weight around the midline. So first thing is just thinking about a lot of length through the spine, a little bit of space in between the vertebrae. From here, take a big inhale, lift both arms up, but rather than bringing the arms up underneath your ears, let them just be gently relaxed down. So arms are reaching up, but we're not actually bringing the shoulders all the way to the ears here. Just kind of let them be long, finding lots of length through the spine. Inhale, find that length, and then as you exhale, place the right hand down next to you and just start to side bend to the right. Bending that left arm over. You can kind of gaze up under your arm a little bit here so that you know the arm isn't coming forward a lot, but it's kind of nice and in line with the body. Side bend, and then inhale as you lift back up. Now we'll bring the right arm up, left hand comes to the side next to us. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, side bend over to the left. One more time each side. So placing the right hand, lifting the left, inhale, lifting, and exhale, side bending. Big stretch through that left side body. Inhale as we come back up, both arms can lift for a second, and then we'll place that left hand down and side bend over to the left. Big stretch through the right side of the body. That should feel really good. And then go ahead and come back up. So from here, we're gonna move into our tabletop position. So bringing the hands. From here, we'll go ahead and just warm up the spine with a little cat and cow. So begin by dropping the belly, gazing forward a little bit. So we're arching the spine in our little cow pose. And then push all the air out, exhaling as you curve the spine upward, coming into this arched cat back type position. Exhale. And then inhale, dropping the belly, lifting your gaze. And exhale, hollow out the belly, lift the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Really nice. So from here, we're gonna move into our first little pose for toning the midsection. So we're gonna challenge our balance a little bit here. Begin by extending the left leg behind you. You can leave that foot planted for a moment. And then use your core. So think about engaging the belly, really pulling everything in really strongly. And from here, keeping the core stable, lift that left leg. So the left leg shouldn't be all floppy. Keep it nice and engaged. So kind of almost kicking through the heel there. This is already starting to work that core, but if you want a little bit more, lift the right hand up in front of you as well. So no problem if you're not able to hold this as long as I am. This is something I've been working on, but hold it with me if you're here. And then nice and gently, we'll put the right hand back down. Go ahead and let that left leg come back into tabletop. So let's try the other side. Extending that right leg back behind. You can leave the foot planted for a moment. Then from here, we're gonna kick through that right heel, lifting that right leg up. And if you really want that challenge, lift the left arm in front of you. Breathe here. Maybe you're shaking and quaking. I definitely am. Hold it as long as you can. No worries if you need to set the hand or foot back down for a moment. And we'll go ahead, place that foot back down, come into a little child's pose, but I want you to bring your knees wide. So from here, keeping the feet kind of glued to the heels or sitting on the heels, the knees come wide out towards the corners of the mat, finding that tall length in the spine once more, and then just reaching the arms in front of you. You can come down onto your forearms. It's a really nice way to kind of stretch and open the hips. We get a nice stretch through the inner thighs as well. And if you're able to place your head all the way down onto the mat or onto a yoga block or anything else, you can get this really nice stretch through the back as well. Breathe here. Really, really nice. So then use your hands to push you back up. And now we're gonna come down onto our side. Placing your forearm so that it's basically parallel with the top of the mat. And I just want you to take a moment to kind of notice that your shoulder is nicely aligned over the elbow and that the elbow is not kind of moving out in a line. So this alignment and bone stacking just helps us to keep our joints really, really safe. So from here, I want you to think about, again, keeping that space between the shoulder and the earlobe as we start to lift the body up. And then you're gonna press into that entire length of your forearm. Think about lifting up the hips. So now in this little forearm side plank, again, notice that your ear and your shoulder have a little bit of space. And again, thinking about that string kind of lifting you up from your hips, using those obliques to engage and lift the side body. If you wanted a little bit more, you could start to lift and extend that top leg, or just opening it up like a little clamshell if you want a little booty workout in here too. You can always come down and take a breath if you'd like, or just kind of keep holding this pose with me here. I'm feeling this through my arm, I'm feeling this through my obliques. And then nice and gently, we'll go ahead and let that hip come down, and we'll switch to the other side. And then from here, once again, think about lifting up through the hips. So find that nice big breath, nice big inhale, length through the spine, and then we'll just lift the hips up. So using those obliques to lift you up. Breathing here. If you want a little bit more, you can always lift up that top leg. Do some little clamshells with that top leg if you want, or just focus on keeping those abs lifted. We're just kind of really focusing in on the midsection. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Breathing. Never forget to keep breathing as you're in these poses. And then nice and gently, we'll let the hips come on down. So for here, just a moment, come to sit either kneeling like we did at the beginning of class, or if it feels okay in your hips, to sit in your cross-legged position or Sukhasana, easy seat. We're just gonna catch our breath for a second and roll the shoulders. So inhale, lifting them up. Exhale, rolling them back and down. Really nice. So now we're gonna come to recline on our backs. So having the feet planted here, we'll start just lowering the body down onto the forearms, and then push down into your forearms, lift your hips up a little bit, and roll the spine all the way down onto your mat. So take a moment here to prepare for your bridge pose. So Our goal is to start bringing the feet closer to the hands, closer to the body. But if this is your first time trying bridge, then you can leave a little bit more distance between your heels and your bum. So we're going to press through the back of the shoulder blades and the bottoms of the feet, lifting our hips up towards the sky. So I want you to just take a moment here and really notice that your neck and head are relaxed. And as we lift here, think about pushing through the shoulder blades and keeping the neck relaxed. Your head should never be in discomfort when you're in bridge pose. You also never want to turn your head when you're in bridge pose. Good tip. So, thinking about keeping the weight in the feet and in the shoulders, we'll place the hands down next to us. You can put some of the weight through the arms and hands as well. And then if you'd like to bring the feet in a little bit closer to your glutes, you can. And from here, we're just going to start to lift the hips up. So you can take kind of a gentle bridge here, just kind of gently lifting the hips, or you can really push through the feet, lifting the hip bones up towards the sky. Remember to keep the neck nice and relaxed. Your weight is through the back of the shoulders and through the feet. It's not in your neck. No problem if you need to come down out of this bridge pose, or you can stay with me here for a moment. This is really nice for giving a little stretch to the hip flexors and front side of the body. It also is a lot of work for our legs and glutes, as well as just being a really nice position for the spine. And then nice and slowly rolling down one vertebra at a time. And then from here, we'll let the feet come a little bit farther from the body. Relax here for a second. So from here, you're gonna leave your right foot planted. Go ahead and bend that left leg, bringing the left knee in towards the chest. So just compressing the quad in toward the abdomen. And then from here, we're gonna come to a spinal twist. So from this position, hugging this left knee in, and we're gonna take a spinal twist here. So you can place your left hand down on the floor and then push into that right foot as you just bring that left leg over. Nice spinal twist. Adjust for a moment so that you can feel that both shoulders are coming into contact with the floor. So rather than having this shoulder up off the ground, you really want to get that spinal twist by twisting that left shoulder toward the floor. You could always prop a pillow or blanket underneath this knee if it's a little bit too much twist, or you can place your hand on top of this knee to give yourself a little bit more twist. Breathe here. Spinal twist is one of the best things that we can do to nourish the spine, nourish the body, and it's also really, really great for the low back. You should feel that this entire glute getting this really nice stretch here. So this is a really wonderful thing to do for yourself every day. Nice and gently, we'll begin to lift the body back up. Now we'll place that left foot down, taking a moment to adjust and just find a neutral position here. And then leaving that left foot grounded, we'll start to hug the right knee in toward the chest. And preparing for that spinal twist here. I'm going to place my right arm down on the ground next to me so I can just use this arm as I lift the hips, moving them a little bit to the left and allowing. I'm going to place my right arm down here so I can put a little bit of my weight into that right arm. As I begin to lift up, move the hips a little bit towards the right so that this knee will start to fold over. Really nice. Once again, I'm noticing this shoulder is kind of creeping up. So just adjusting a little bit so I can let that shoulder come down. You can turn your neck to the side as well, just to get that full spinal twist. Or if it feels more comfortable to just leave your head in a neutral position or your head facing up, that's totally fine as well. Take a nice breath here, savoring our last little pose together. And then nice and gently bringing our gaze back through center. And then beginning to lift that leg back up, and we'll place both feet down. From here, you can take your Shavasana or final resting pose, extending the legs out long, taking up a lot of space on your mat. Maybe even more space than your mat if you're really tall like me. So when you're relaxed in Shavasana, the hips will open. So if your legs are just staying up and your feet are pointing up toward the sky, that means your hips and legs are not completely relaxed. So I really want you to think about letting everything relax. So for me, my feet actually come down onto the sides in this position, feeling nice and relaxed. You can let that little space under your low back kind of be there as well. So it's natural for us to have that little gap underneath the lumbar or low back. And then arms out to the side with your palms facing up. Let's just take a few breaths here. I want you to really be grateful to yourself for making some time today to do something good for your body. So much of the time we're just focused on the things that we aren't doing or the things that we think that we've done. You're more than welcome to pause the video here and spend a few silent moments in Shavasana. Or if you're ready to return to your day, we'll begin by just wiggling the fingers and the toes, starting to bring a little bit of movement back to the body. And then reaching the arms up overhead, take a nice big stretch. And then from here, we'll come to roll over onto the side for a moment. You can rest your head on your arm. And then using this hand in front of you, planted on the floor, you'll push yourself back up to a seat. Bringing the palms together. Bringing the palms together and placing the thumbs at heart center. Go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest. You can close your eyes here. Thank you so much for making time today for yourself and for joining me and inviting me to be a part of your yoga practice. The highest and brightest in me honors and bows to the highest and brightest in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this class and that you're feeling really good. If you liked it, then I hope you'll download our yoga app, YogaPlus, and start your free 2-week trial today. So you're gonna gain access to my beginner's journey yoga program, as well as a lot of 14 and 30-day yoga programs and a lot of other fitness and wellness content. That's why we call it YogaPlus. So I hope you will check it out. I've got links for you down in the description below, and I cannot wait to see you there.